And the shutdown will definitely be delaying the crypto legislation that we've all so hoped would be moving through Congress.
There's no shutdown. What are you talking about?
They only have 45 days.
Oh,
like the looming,
sure. If they screw
it's
this
just
up
like they
next
just
time,
kicked the ball down the field 45 days like that.
They did, but something really interesting happened today that might make it a little less likely for it to be looming again in the future. A lot of people didn't like the leadership of
Kevin McCarthy, and now Patrick McHenry is the Speaker of the House. Pro-Tempore, temporarily. But that's amazing for the crypto industry to have somebody who is so knowledgeable, so pro-crypto.
Anyone who's
he said
tried has
it
failed.
Is an unstoppable force.
Yes. He is now the Speaker of the House, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty cool.
That is very cool. Also very cool is that another crypto champion, Tom Emmer, his bill that's an anti-CBDC bill has passed the House Financial Services Committee and is headed to a vote before the House. This is an incredibly important bill in terms of just protecting our freedoms, because privacy is normal. And for every transaction to be public, for a network like this to be fully under the control of the government, it leads to the kind of dystopian future everyone is scared about when it comes to crypto and AI, because people can just be shut off for wrongthink or what have you. It's the kind of China social credit score scenario that would be potentially the infrastructure would be in place for something like that to happen here in the U.S. It's just absolutely un-American. And so seeing this bill move forward after 3 years of work is just a moment that we need to acknowledge and applaud. And we hope that it will pass.
Yeah. It's interesting because I remember early on, some of the biggest pushback about blockchain is money has to have a stamp of approval from a government, otherwise it's worthless. Well, that's obviously been disproven, that Bitcoin is not worthless. Obviously, say whatever you might about it, but it's clearly not worthless. So it having value was not derived from having to be issued from the government. And CBDCs are basically just taking everything but the value part and taking everything that government can do with money except for the value part and attaching the rest of it. The whole point of governments backing money is just supposed to give the faith that money will be redeemed. It's not supposed to be a mechanism for spying, a mechanism for control, a mechanism for shutting down your ability to use it. That's dystopian, like you said, un-American. It's very, like, I remember seeing some really awful videos out of China of people, because China moved very quickly along with the WePay and I was there a couple of years ago, and there's this, you can't use cash to buy anything. Everything's on WePay. And a lot of people think it's a huge convenience. And it is, you know, I'll be honest, that every single
their payment processing systems are a decade more ahead of ours.
Easily. But it also means, it was something like a whole building worth of people got home late and they weren't able to get their COVID test or something or other. And so their building locked them out, and literally everyone was sleeping outside their building. A whole apartment building worth of people had to sleep outside because the building wouldn't let them in. And it's like, and in that case, you don't have anyone to turn to, because you know that this was actually kind of decided by your actual central government, and that, you know, whatever. We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want to live under an empire, obviously. So whatever you have to say about, you know, anti-money laundering and everything like that, there are many other mechanisms to prevent anti-money laundering, some of which are honestly breaking the Fourth Amendment as it is, but, you know, leave that aside. We don't need it to be baked into the money itself. And so making the argument that CBDCs are necessary because governments are the only things that can issue money for it to be valuable, to have value, I think is disproven by the fact that Bitcoin exists and there's so much pushback against CBDCs. I hope this works.
I do too. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are here for you. If there's anything we can do to help provide education, please reach out to us. We exist to help keep crypto legal in the US and for Web3 to be able to grow here. So